Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight on A World Awakening. It's a very special episode for me, in my heart, because my dear friend Annie Russell is joining us tonight. Many of you know her, and we've been at numerous events together. But the first time that we met years ago, we connected right away and on many levels. Many topics, many levels. It's like, oh yes, I agree. Yeah, and so it was that we became an instant mutual admiration society, and have been thick as thieves for years. And I tried to get her on last year, and then there was stuff, and so now she's here, and I'm so delighted. But before she comes on, I'd like to have Bill join us for a couple of minutes. Bill Forte, who is the general manager of KGRA. How are you, dear?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. I love all your extraterrestrials. I love what you've done with your studio. It's fabulous. It's fabulous.
So how was your week this week?
Insane. Insane. But that's okay. It keeps me from slipping into a coma. So there's that. It's just an awful lot happening in a short amount of time. And I just started a new venture that I can't even tell anybody about yet, which makes me crazy. I hate when that happens, but it has again. And so as soon as I can impart information, I will. But I have, as you well know, stayed very busy through a global pandemic. Kept my nose clean, kept my head down, worked a lot from home here in the man cave. And oh no, my picture is a little crooked, and that's going to drive me nuts.
You look fine, and you look great.
Yeah, no, the picture over my shoulder is a little crooked. I don't know how that could have happened. The Libra in me loses her mind when that happens.
I will say this.
Spirit. I'm telling you.
You look beautiful as ever.
Oh, thank you.
And hello to all those in the chat room. I see a lot of folks joining us right now, and they love you and they wish you well.
Thank you.
But I just want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Are we working maybe on recreating a movie that's, I think, a little bit more close to home when it comes to the farmhouse?
Yeah, it's a whole series of movies. It's a whole series. It's going to be 3 years of shows.
Wow. So that's something you're openly discussing, and it's not.
Yeah. That's not even the big secret.
Oh my gosh. That's what I thought you were going toward. I mean, I thought that's why I wanted to put you on the spot, but I didn't get to do that because it's something totally different.
No, it's something else entirely. Oh my God. I don't even know what to make of it yet. So I'll tell you when I'll call you and tell you privately, and then I'll share it with everybody as soon as I can. Hey,
you have a great guest tonight, though.
I do. And that's what I was just going to say is you had the privilege and pleasure of spending a few minutes with her before I hopped in. Isn't she delightful?
I think, first of all, I definitely want to get a couple of her books. I'm going to actually put a couple of those books up on the screen right now for folks to see it. But not only that, she makes her own cards.
Yes, I have a set of her tarot cards. Their artwork, they are so beautiful. I don't even read tarot. To me, they're artwork. Mm-hmm. And I have them on display, and they're a prized possession of mine. They stay on my desk. Anything that's on my desk is a prized possession. My sister's little urn of ashes is on my desk. So that's what they mean to me.
Special. Yeah.
Yes, and she's special.
Image. Here's an image of them.
I know. She did all the artwork for these. Aren't they amazing?
Yeah. I mean, look at some of her paintings.
She's a very gifted artist.
I mean,
there's a vibration about her work that I look at it and I just can't take my eyes off it. And her website is fabulous.
There's a light to it. There's a positive energy to it. You know what I mean? You see that?
Yes.
And it's beautiful to me.
It is. It's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Let's put up her website, AnnieRussell.net.
Yep. AnnieRussell.net. And without further ado, let's welcome our guest to A World Awakening.
Have a great show to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. There she is.
Hi.
Hi. I could have said a whole lot more about you, but I want people to get to know you.
Thank you. I so appreciate being here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It really, truly is. Lynn. Yep. Lynn knows your art very well.
Hi, Lynn.
There have been times. Thank you, Brendan. There have been times that we've been at events and we're situated across from each other, which is fabulous because if I don't have anybody in front of the table, I just wander over to where you are. And
I love when we're at events together. It's just the whole vibration of the room changes when you're in it, and it's delightful.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Erin. Oh, I knew she was coming. She said, "Have a good show." I knew when I got that she was going to be here. You'll get to meet her too. Erin Bush has been very helpful to me and has been on the show a couple of times and is kind of my fill-in host if I have to be away. If I've got an event that I've got to do, as I hate running reruns, because everything's already available on KGRA. It's already available on my YouTube channel. And so I like something fresh and new and an infusion of live energy every show. So, and I got you. And have you got your dogs with you? I have mine with me.
Mine are sleeping. Hopefully they'll stay sleeping. If they don't, you'll hear them. If I lock them up, then you'll definitely hear them. So we're just going to hope they stay asleep and do their thing over there. But where is your princess? Is she right here?
Where is she? Oh my God. Here she is. Here she is. Mommy put the fan on and she doesn't like the fan. Oh. Come here. Come here. Get over here. Get over here, you silly goofus. Oh. Okay, come say hi to Auntie. Auntie Annie.
Hi, baby.
Auntie Annie. There she is. She's right there, honey. This is the peanut butter cup.
She is just the sweetest thing.
She is.
And she loves you.
She usually goes for the lip lard first. I don't know why.
Oh, she's so sweet.
Yeah, she is.
I am so glad you have her.
I don't know. Well, you're as much of a dog person as I am, but
I am.
After I lost Gracie Pearl, and I've always been a big dog person, but Gracie Pearl was 130 pounds, a Great Pyrenees.
Oh,
emphasis on great. And she only lived 10 years, which is the average life expectancy.
Big dogs.
But I could get anywhere from 15 to 20 years out of Peanut. And I've never had a Chihuahua. Never did I ever think I would fall for a Chihuahua. Never in a moment. I always thought of them as little and yappy. And, I never had anything against them, but I just could not even imagine myself with a dog that wasn't practically the size of me, So it was a shock when the universe dropped her in my lap and said, here you go. You need her. And I did. And I do need her. And she's the light of my life. She's, there's been a lot. You and I are very tuned in with each other, like emotionally tuned in. Like, I'll be having a low spot and I'll suddenly get a message from you asking how I'm doing. So, how I'm doing. That's why you sent me the message because, and to have that with a friend is, a wonderful connection.
It is.
But I've been really struggling. I've been really sad and struggling and angry, and for years, it feels like it's just been years that this has been going on. And
I know.
And well, it has. And when the pandemic hit, which was 2 weeks after I found her,
Yep.
I read my first art. I found her on January 15th, 2020. I read my first article about an emerging novel coronavirus in China on the 24th of January.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that, and I'll tell you why. It's the birthday of my favorite professor in college, and also Barbara Streisand.
Yeah. Wow.
January 24th. So that stuck in my head that I'm reading about this. And Annie, I knew it was the shift.
Mm-hmm.
I knew, first comes disease, and then comes war, and then comes famine. We are not through this yet.
No.
What country is under attack? The breadbasket of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine, the farms, what is produced in Ukraine that feeds the whole rest of the world every year, for that to be missing all of a sudden, there will be famine because of this.
Yep.
On top of the extraordinary cruelty and loss of life. And this has leveled me. And,
it's very difficult.
Yeah. It really has. It doesn't mean there aren't atrocities happening in Afghanistan right now. Yes, there are, but we don't have any journalists over there reporting about it because they're not allowed to be there. So that's all happening behind, a shroud of evil where nothing can be seen.
Yeah.
And, but we all know what's happening there. We all know what's happening in Syria. We all know what's happening in Yemen. We all know what's happening. And I ask myself over and over and over again, when will we ever learn? What have we ever learned? Why do human beings not learn that no one wins a war? No one does.
Nope. I don't know why we don't. But historically, we just haven't. I don't have answers for that. I try. Well, not so much. I try to limit my vision, but there's times when I just have to pull back. I have to pull in, and I have to do what's right in front of me, because I can't fix those things. I can't do anything about anything on a world stage, but I can do a fundraiser for the cats that need to be fixed and neutered. I can donate clothes to kids that don't have them in my community. And there are times that just feels stupid. Really, it just feels like that I'm not doing anything, but there isn't anything else I can do. So I just do the next best thing.
No, you actually are doing something. You're always doing something for others, which is one of the things that I most admire about you. And I don't know how you find, with all that you do and running a business, I don't know where you find the time for your artwork or your writing or, what you utilize as creative outlets, because the creativity just bursts out of you.
It does. I say I'm a compulsive creatrix. I can't not. Whether it's cooking or knitting or painting, gardening, it's a Taurus thing, maybe. Taurus people have to do this.
Yeah.
We have to make it pretty, but there's got to be some pretty. There's got to be some happy, and even if it means just that one little space, then that's what we do.
Yeah, I took my father shopping at Lowe's garden department today, and we filled 2 carts worth of what I do is I always go to the very back before I look up front, and they have row after row of clearance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's 50% off or more.
Oh,
It's all suffering from neglect, all of it. That's the only reason anything's wrong with any of it, is it hasn't been pruned or cut back, and it hasn't been watered properly, and it just needs some love. And so I grabbed a cart and I told him to grab another one, and we went back to the clearance rack, and I bought about, I don't know, $500 worth of plants for $200.
nice.
You know, and I was like, yay! You know, and there's this remorse that I feel sometimes. I know you'll be able to, that this will resonate with you too, but there's this remorse that I feel sometimes when I'm just in my terrace garden, and I have a big pergola over the top of it so I can put hanging plants, and you know, there's all dirt on both sides, so I have big huge garden plants on both sides, and it's beautiful. I mean, it stops traffic. People stop to look at the front of my house and my terrace, and that's kind of my happy place. Peanut comes out with me. And I just plant and I work and I sweat, and I plant and I work and I sweat. And it is, it's like purging. It's like, I don't know. There's a cleansing kind of about working the earth, you know, working the dirt and getting, you know, I use my fingernails as shovels. I do, because they're hard as rocks. I can. You know, and there have been times, honestly, Annie, there have been times in recent weeks where I've been out there in my peaceful, lovely, tranquil garden and felt a twinge of guilt or survivor's remorse that my life is so perfect and beautiful here. I live in paradise. I have everything I could ever want in life. And Ukraine, you know, I mean, I have 2 friends over there that I have not spoken with in 6.5 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
I cannot reach them. I don't know if they're dead or alive. From Mariupol. And the stress, the anxiety, the you know, I don't know. I know that a lot of people that left through the Russian checkpoints, they took their phones.
Yes.
You know, so if that's all they took, if they didn't take their lives, if they just took their phones, I'm okay with that. But I have no way to reach them, and they're on the other side of the world. And so that's my little tiny personal connection with millions of people that are having to run for their lives. And 8 weeks ago, they were getting up and making toast and going to work.
Right.
And I think it serves as a painful reminder to us how fleeting life is, how fast it can change.
Absolutely.
But you had said a little while ago that you didn't know the answer to, you know, how we get to the other side. And I feel that I do. I do have the answer. And I don't know if it will come to pass or it will not. But what I can say is that there are many, many good, pure of heart, true blue men in this world that have to stand with the women who are the spiritual warriors for peace and have to stand up against this kind of atrocious aggression. And we have to get to a place in the world where either women ascend to positions of high power or beside men, good men, who ascend to positions of high power. And it has to be established worldwide that never again means something, and that this can't happen again. And this has to stop. And one megalomaniac, one out of his mind lunatic is, he shouldn't be given the privilege of being called president.
Oh, gosh, no.
No, don't call him president. He's a dictator. Emphasis on dick.
Yes.
It's my show. I swear like a son of a bitch on the show.
Yes,
you can't even believe that what comes out of my mouth sometimes.
Oh, I could.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask my kids.
Okay.
Remember, I run a restaurant. We're not known for clean language.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I know. I ran one too, but oh my God. I've gotten much worse. Much worse in recent years with recent.
I hope you're right. I mean, I agree with that assessment, and I hope that does come to pass. I truly do. And if that were to come to pass, then things would flip entirely.
Yeah. We really need to look openly and honestly at the human dynamic. Mm-hmm. And the human dynamic has been the same for millennia. Yep. And that is that men make war, women and children suffer and die. Men make more war, women and children suffer and die. It's a, just this repetitious, secular sickness that exists in the human condition that does not need to, because the vast majority of people on the earth don't want war. They want peace. Don't want, we've got obstacles that we have been up against forever, which is my religion's better than your religion, off with your head, or I want your land, or
I want your stuff.
I want your stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So this is, the rudimentary foundation of the aggression and the acts of war and the atrocities which occur, in Chechnya, in Syria, in Yemen, in Ukraine, in Afghanistan, and on and on and on. We don't know all that happens in North Korea because, again, we have no way in. There's no spectacle that we can look through, peer through, no telescope. Other than satellite overviews, when they're getting ready to launch another, ICBM that hopefully doesn't have a warhead in the top of it. I mean, we have got to get to the point where, nuclear power serves the planet in terms of medicine. It serves the planet in terms of generating energy, but we have no way of disposing safely with the waste. No. So, and the rest of its use is for weapons. We have to get to a zero nuclear planet. We do, where what's used is very limited and it's only in terms of scientific research and medicine applications. But we have got to, I don't know about you, but the night that Russia started indiscriminately firing at the largest nuclear power plant in Western Europe.
That was terrifying.
I curled up in a ball on my bed upright, and I rocked like a baby in her mother's arms, and I sobbed and I prayed and I begged and said, please, oh God, please, please, not this way, not this way. Let us not perish this way. I can't believe that we got through that. I can't believe we got through that without them lobbing a cruise missile into the core of that reactor. Let that be proof of the existence of God, because I could not have prayed harder than I did that night. And this is all taking a toll on all of us, whether we are paying close attention, a modicum of attention, even if we're just absorbing it by osmosis, just from hearing things around us. We're all affected by this.
It changes the vibrational frequency of everything.
Yes, and
all of these events and all
frequency
of
is fear.
Millions and millions of people who are terrified and running and fleeing, and the millions of aggressors, the anger from those people. There's no way any of us escape that vibrational frequency, even if we don't, or even if so many people don't recognize it on a conscious level, it still comes in, and we still, our bodies recognize it and react. Yes. So, there's headaches, there's migraines, there's fibromyalgia flares, there's lupus flares, there's anxiety. Oh God, is there anxiety? Yeah. All of that. So it affects every single person. And like you said, until there's a shift on who's in charge, what our goals are, when we stop being so, as humans, we stop being so greedy and prideful, especially greedy with, I want your land, I want your stuff, and the pride of my spirituality is better or the only truth. That is the most asinine thing we've ever come up with. The one and only truth.
Yeah.
What is that? And that's what gets us to where we are. I want that land. I want that stuff. And I don't like what you believe. Mm-hmm. And here we are.
Yeah. Now this is, I really hate to say this, especially, I hate to say this, but I keep hearing people saying this, if we're not careful, this could become World War III. Mm-hmm. It is World War III. Mm-hmm. It is World War III. We are, and I held my mother over Christmas. I held her, and she said he's not going to change his mind. He's going in. When Putin was amassing troops on the border. And I just held my mother in my arms, and she cried, and she said, I was born into World War II and I will die in World War III. And you know how pissed off that makes me, that my dear mother, with everything that she's been through in her life, has to feel this way now, has to...
That's just criminal.
Spend the last time of her life sick every day with grief and anger and fear and loathing and contempt. She is riddled with all of these emotions, and I don't blame her, and I'm not going to say, oh, Mom, there's always a war going on. The next person I hear say that, I'm probably going to knock their teeth down their throat. I'm probably going to do that. I tell my father, if he sees my fist draw back, to grab my elbow, because if I hear it again, there's nothing conventional about this war. This isn't troops fighting troops. No. This is troops targeting civilians and doing the worst things to them that they possibly can, with the only mercy being their death. That's what this is. And anybody that says that it's not is either not paying attention, is completely willfully ignorant, or deserves to be punched in the face. I'm like the least aggressive, most passive person on the planet. And this is what's coming up for me. Mm-hmm. So anger to the point where I loathe the war. And I'm like, make the weapons fast. Ship them fast. Mm-hmm. Get them there fast. Blow that motherfucker off the planet. Mm-hmm. I'm like enraged all the time. And I'm not going to apologize to anybody for it, because that's what
you should never apologize for what you feel or how you're feeling. Those are your feelings.
A spiritual warrior does. is stand up for people that don't have a voice, to stand up for those who are in the worst jeopardy of their lives, and to do whatever we can do. But you were saying a little earlier something that you do what you can do to make the world a better place. And that's a lot of what we encourage here. I know you've seen the show. That's a lot of what we talk about in terms of do what you can. But you're doing even more. You are doing even more than you think that you're doing, because what you love actively, you love as a verb, which is another thing that I so admire about you. You put your love into action. But you also have a fine mind, a well-defined intellect, and you are able to focus your attention and your affection, and you are able to impart wisdom into the world with everyone whose life you touch on a day-to-day basis. And because thoughts are things, by your existence, you are raising the vibration of the planet.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm honored, truly, because in the face of Ukraine and Afghanistan and North Korea, all those world stage things that seem so big, loving the next person in line who's in front of you just doesn't seem like that big a deal. It just doesn't seem like it's enough to do, but there's nothing else to do. And it's so schmaltzy, and that's just sometimes so trite, but
I love
along with, and I'm with you, blow the asshole off the face of the earth, but I cannot personally do that. So that means I knit socks for people. It's just balance.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I don't like war. I can be, I know, super strong. I don't really like to be aggressive, but I can be. But I also don't believe in backing down from somebody who is actively hurting people who cannot stand up for themselves.
Peace-loving people, innocent people that did nothing wrong, nothing.
There's, and I'm probably going to not say it correctly, but the adage of, now I'm not even going to remember it, darn it. Something about to do nothing is in itself.
Yeah, it's tacit approval.
Yeah. So if we just sit back and say, well, oh gosh, I don't like war. So, you do whatever you want. When whatever that person's want is murdering other people, then we may as well just be part of it. That can't happen either. So like you said, there's times when we just simply have to say, no, that's not going to be acceptable. And then in however we can manage it, make sure that it continues to not be acceptable.
Right.
I would be the one who, if my husband wasn't around, if my kids didn't need me, I would be the one over there feeding people and helping people through. I would find some way to go. And I can't do that. The people who need me are here. And there are other people better equipped to go do that. I am not one of those people. I would like to be. But
I would like to be. And I could never, I can talk a good game, but I could never shoot a gun. I don't really believe that I could ever kill another human being. I suppose, it's been said, depending on the circumstances.
I guess so. It would have to be pretty dire circumstances.
Yeah, but they would have to
imagine shooting someone because they want my television.
Right. No, I would say don't forget the remote,
Yeah. It come in the front door. I'll go out the back door. Don't hurt my dogs.
Yep. Don't hurt my dogs. In fact, I'm taking my dog with me. So yeah. It's just, that's who I am at heart. But there are things that are worth fighting for, and freedom is one of them.
Absolutely. And other people's freedom, not just ours.
Right. Not just ours.
Other people's expression of freedom.
That's right. So this has to be a wake up call for the world. And in that respect, it is appropriate that we speak about it, because this is a world awakening to the fact that we have learned nothing if this is still happening on this planet, and that ultimately this needs to be part of the paradigm shift. Mm-hmm. This is the triptych. This is, here we are. Yep. This is disease, war, and then followed by famine. And that is what is going to happen. There are going to be vast swaths of territory and land on this planet that are not going to receive what they normally would from that part of the world to feed their people. Yep. And yes, we live in a grossly overpopulated world, but there's still enough food on this planet to feed everyone. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to come up with some unusually creative things to do in the next year to circumvent all of this, so that we are actually and legitimately caring for each other around the globe. This is global. The pandemic is global. The war is global. The famine will affect all of us globally. The markets are crazy right now. Nobody knows what's up and what's down. We are in the midst of a tumultuous time in the evolution of humanity and in the course of human history. Yep. And I do believe, and I want your opinion about this, Annie, because I don't think I've ever talked to you about this, but I really do want your opinion about this. There are a lot of people who work in our field, and under that big umbrella called the paranormal, right? Who insist that we are all here now on this planet at this time by choice. Okay. And that there are some of us that are here to be the ones that we've been waiting for and to make the change. That we're the ones that are that cause others to catapult into a higher frequency, a deeper understanding, a global comprehension. And are you one that espouses the notion that we are souls off-world that choose to come back to fulfill a specific mission, and that we came back now at a time when we would be most needed?
Yes, but probably I think I have a different visual, but at some point it simply becomes semantics. At this point, because as I learn more, then I do tend to change a lot of things that, I've learned more about. So I change my views and my thoughts. But at this time, and for the last, I'd say 20 years or so, yes, I hold a similar view. I believe that we come back here. I believe that most of us have been here before. I believe that here, meaning this dimension. I guess that's I tend to think in ways of dimension as opposed to like worlds and planets. So yes, I'm trying to think of the words I'd like to use for this. I believe that we have, I guess, more of a soul mission, for lack of a better term. We decide when we're going to come back. I also believe we come back oftentimes with the same people, but maybe in different roles. You and I felt an instant, immediate connection, and every conversation we have, one or both of us are going, yes, 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 because I believe that we've done this before in a different dimension, a different world, a different time. And I Yeah, I love history as well. So I kind of get caught up in that. Um, I do believe that over the years or over the eons, there have been people that have come to help to elevate us, to teach us. Unfortunately, and this is where my irreverence is going to maybe get people to not be so happy, we as humans tend to kill those people.
Yes, we do.
So
Routinely.
woe be to the person who's going to be the next Jesus Christ or Gandhi or Buddha or whomever. We tend to kill the people who have the most to teach us, which seems to me to indicate that we are just not learning.
Stupid. I think the word you're looking for is stupid, because that is completely, entirely counterintuitive. It's always because of a threat to power.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always because
people that come to teach us are lowly. You know, they're the ones that are walking around barefoot. They're the ones that are humble. And the people in power don't want that. They don't want those of us looking and following somebody who's humble. And I don't follow any of those religions, but I do recognize great teachers. So yes, there have been wonderful, great teachers. Unfortunately, we as humans kill them before they, and maybe that's the point of them being here. Maybe that's what makes them become so renowned and revered, is that we have killed them. I don't know what those answers are. There's so many cycles, but yes, I do believe that we come back. I believe that there are realms and worlds and dimensions, and I believe that each one's different. I also believe that they're all at the same time, if that makes any sense.
They exist simultaneously.
Yeah, time isn't linear. It's all now. So I dearly, dearly, dearly hope and pray, and a little part of me believes that there are dimensions and worlds and times and periods where we as humans have gotten it. We have realized that we can't kill the thing that we're living on, that this living entity that has decided to house our sorry butts, we can't kill it. And actually, I don't think we will. I think eventually the Earth's going to just shake us off like a bunch of fleas and go about doing its thing. We're not essential to the Earth. The Earth is essential to us.
Right.
And I think humans forget that. So in answer to your question, yes, I do believe that souls come back with an idea of why we're here. I think some of us may get a glimmer of that. I don't think many of us know intrinsically that this is what our mission is, because we wouldn't be able to do it, if we knew ahead of time. I don't know.
I've often said I must not have known, because had I known what I was coming into, what my life would be, and how much grief and sadness and loss I would endure, and how absorbed I would become with the organic beings around me, whether humans or animals or the forest itself, or, if I had known that I could love so powerfully and be so tragically hurt by this thing called life, I would never have agreed to this. Under no circumstances would I have agreed to this, which is why I feel like somebody put a freaking blindfold on me, said, you're going back as Libra, the sign of justice, and you are, and you don't get to read what you're signing onto before you go.
Oh, absolutely. I think sometimes that might happen as well, that, something calls us forward and says, so you want to go back? And silly us go, sure, why not? And then they go, okay, there you go. And we go, wait. What am I going back to? Never mind. You'll figure that out. I have also, since my early 20s, I strongly suspect that and this, I don't mean this as like some kind of false, humble silliness. I really don't. But I feel on a very deep level that my purpose here, the prime purpose of me being here, was to bring forth my children and my grandchildren. That it's not that I'm not the thing that's, I mean, there's things we all do that are important, don't get me wrong, but my role primarily for being back here was to bring them here. That was the main issue of why I was here. I have felt that very, very strongly over the years. And so, maybe that's it for many of us too, where it's not so much what we're doing, but what we're allowing to bring forth, what we're bringing into this realm because we're here. And that these other people, these other personalities and souls couldn't be here without us, which makes us important. So,
yeah. I've saved about 100 dogs in my life.
And that makes you absolutely the most perfect human ever.
I can't count the cats. Don't even ask me to count the cats. I don't know. I don't know. I do hope, however, that when I pass from this realm, that wherever I go has a big ass farm and all of them are there waiting for me. All of them.
They will be. I have no doubt.
That's my wish. That would be my wish.
Mine too.
There would just be a big ass farm.
And they'd all be there.
It would be, but where it's warm all the time. I don't want to be cold anymore.
I hear you. You're talking to me from Florida. We just had snow here a couple days ago.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I know.
See, I came here from Florida, so I feel like I'm really not even supposed to be here.
I
was brought here and I've not been able to escape.
Yeah, but how are you going to leave those bookcases? I mean, how could you ever leave those bookcases?
Yep, because I've been asking for these bookcases. The mantle, I actually had my husband dismantle and put in the back of our car, and I dragged it home from Louisiana years ago. And since then, I've been saying, I need bookcases on either side. And he did finally do it for me. I was so excited.
Beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, he does great things. Well, what do you think about what do souls? You'd ask my opinion. What's yours?
Well, I think it's entirely plausible that we are recycled souls, that we all tap into. I think that there's a prime source of energy, creator of all, that exists in the universe. And it, I don't think of it as he or she. I think of it as it, as prime creator, infinite intelligence, divine mind. I think there is one mind that we all tap into the unified field of consciousness.
Okay.
And I think that there is one soul that we are each a piece of, an expression of on this plane of action at this time. I think it's also entirely plausible that we exist simultaneously in this realm and others. And that's one of the reasons why some of us seem to have a moment of recognition when we first meet, quote unquote, on this plane of action.
Right.
It's like, oh, where have you been?
Right.
You know,
I was looking for you.
I have been looking for you for decades. And, you know, and that happens as I get older. And as we're going into this, I really do believe paradigm shift in the course of human evolution. And that's happening to me now more and more and more. I'm encountering people that I have this strange sense of familiarity with.
Yeah.
You know, even though I don't feel compelled to immediately leap into their arms.
Right.
I feel like kind of like what we did. Oh, get over here. Get over here.
But I think we did. I think there was hugs.
yeah, there was. Yeah, it was, but that was more than a hug. That was an absolute energy exchange.
Oh, yes.
That occurred between us. Both of us trembled when that happened.
That was just an amazing meeting. It was so wonderful.
Yeah, it was marvelous. but I am meeting more and more people that I have this sense of, okay, you're in my life for some reason. I'll figure that out, later, or, running into people that, that I do have this strange, almost otherworldly sense of familiarity, knowing for a fact that I've never met them before. And yet here they are. You are part of my inner circle. You are part of my, Greta, my agent that represents me, and also a dear, dear friend. She's like, yep, you've got this group of women that is second to none. It's unbelievable. And honey, watch out when we circle the wagons around you.
Yep.
You become impervious, and I feel that. I really do. I feel nurtured and protected and defended by my women. It's a remarkable thing. And I count you among my closest friends, my closest confidants.
And you. No, it's I don't know if I imagine men might have that type of tribal kind of thing happening, but I don't know. I don't hear many men talk about that.
No.
Women definitely, when we talk about this is my group, these are my people. And this is who I can call at 2:00 in the morning, and right. they'll be right there.
Yep.
So I think as women, we have such an amazing way to connect and nurture. I think that's wonderful.
Well, I did not feel compelled. I did not feel the need to breed. I did not feel the compulsion to marry. I'm 63 years old, if not now, when, and that's okay.
Oh, sure.
I do have one true love in my life, and he knows it. And and that's good. It's wonderful. But if this is all there is, that's fine. I just am at a place now where I've just come to accept, I'm past that bitterness of, oh, I got so screwed. I come here to this planet with a heart as big as the moon and no one to share it with, it's and it's not that I haven't had love in my life, as I have, but it was never right. It was never equivalent. It was never all that I sensed there could be. And so inevitably I moved on until I discovered that I'm really comfortable with alone.
Yeah.
I'm very, very reclusive when I'm not in the public eye.
Yeah.
I'm hiding. I'm hiding in my man cave, in my beautiful house, in my beautiful lake, and my beautiful terrace garden. I'm hiding with my beautiful puppy. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I'm blessed with a partner who enjoys his alone time as much as I do. So there's, when we come together, it's great. It's wonderful. We're best friends. We're lovers. It's fabulous. But I can say, I'm going to take off for the afternoon and do my own thing. And I might, he might say, are you okay? Yep, I'm good. All right. Or I'm going to go paint in my studio and I'll be out later, and he can say, I'm going to go out to my mom's and build stuff. And, we don't have to be like this. We're so far past that stage. but I have found too, the older I get, the more I'm comfortable being by myself. I love my time with my husband and I love my time with my family and my friends. But if I have Jack's been in New Orleans now for a couple of weeks and we talk every day, and I certainly am anxious for him to come home, but I'm not pining away, and he's not either. You know, we're comfortable in who we are and what we're doing, and I like that. I like that. I like being comfortable knowing that I don't have to have people around me 24/7 to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured out a long time ago that what I was doing was attracting the walking wounded.
Oh,
who were, you know, and you know, let's face it, if all of us live long enough, we're all the walking wounded. You know, we've all been traumatized. We've all suffered some immeasurable amount of loss or grief or abuse or, you know, any number of things that have happened to us that leave a mark and scar our hearts and brand our minds, you know, and taint our memories. You know, that's just inevitability of life. It's just part of it, of the grand equation. But what I found was that I was attracting people who were not only severely wounded emotionally, but who, once they were in my world, in my sphere, wanted it all to stay exactly the way that it was.
Oh.
Ad infinitum, forever.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, because I mean, you know, physics 101, the only thing that's constant in the universe is change.
Right.
You know, so if you're not raring to go to see what's next all the time, and want to just maintain the status quo and no growth, no change, no evolution, no, I would try to accomplish certain things with my life and found that I was being deliberately sabotaged, being held back from doing what I knew I was supposed to do because it would change the equation. And so that's what killed a couple of relationships.
Yeah, I imagine it would. Well, I'm sorry that those
I got screwed in the love department. I did.
But I'm glad that you were able to walk away and do what you know you needed to do. I mean, I'm glad, because I can't imagine you being stuck in a stagnant situation. That's just not you.
No, it's not.
No.
No, it's not. Well, gosh, I'm sharing more than I normally do on A World Awakening as I wake up.
We do.
Whoa. Well, this is what we do, except normally we do it privately on the phone.
I know. And now we've got all these people.
Well, speaking of all these people, God love them. I've got the best audience. I mean, I've got the best. This is my tribe. I told you, they're great. And we've got Lynn Ann Bowling, who is adminning for me on YouTube, and Bill's watching the Facebook feed, and I don't know, several others. So if Lenny, reach out to Bill if you've got any questions that have popped up for Annie and or for me, and any comments or anything that you want to I really love to interact with our wonderful people, because it literally, you can literally feel it raise the vibration. Nice. You can literally feel, their energy as becoming part of the show, and it's really lovely.
I look forward to that.
Yep. So if anybody has any questions for Annie and Bill, if you would, Please put up her website again so people can jot that down. Thank you. See,
Thanks, Bill.
I knew he was there listening. I knew he was. He's so attentive. He's a wonderful man, really wonderful man.
A very wonderful man. I've enjoyed meeting him.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things, too, that I think is really important to make mention of. And I know I already did, but it deserves to be reiterated and reinforced. And that is that there are some really extraordinary men, enlightened, illuminated, progressive, really evolved.
Oh,
men,
absolutely. Yep.
On this planet. And, we need to stand together.
Oh, yeah.
We need to stand together because, I once wrote to Stephen King when I first read The Stand, and, I hadn't written anything yet. He didn't know who I was at the time, but I wrote to him and he never answered. But it's okay. I wrote him a letter. I lived in Rhode Island. He lived in Maine. And I told him that I enjoyed the book very much, but that I thought that his premise was too simplistic, and that what it ultimately all resolved to was the conflict between good and evil. And that I thought that it wasn't all black and white, that there were numerous shades of gray. And then 30 years later, after he did know who I was, and I wrote to him again, I think on Facebook or something. And I said, I wrote you a letter years and years and years ago, and you never answered it, but that's okay. And I told him, what I had said in it. And I said, so I'm just writing to you again to tell you that I was wrong, that you were right and I was wrong. And everything does come down to good and evil and darkness and light. It does. That's what it is. It is the perpetual conflict between the two that is our cross to bear in this lifetime. Personally, I'll do my time here, and that's what it feels like to me, that I'm doing time. Oh. And when I leave this plane of action, I never ever want to return to this planet. I do not. I can't handle the oppressive nature of 3D duality. I can't. It sucks the lifeblood from my veins, the oxygen from my lungs. I don't want to spend my next life searching for joy and feeling so sad.
I hope you don't. I
can't come back here.
I hope that for you. I would like for humanity to move beyond its insistence of duality. I don't know. I mean, that's an entirely different paradigm shift there, and I don't know if we're capable of getting to that point, but I think it would be helpful. I don't know if it'll happen, but I do wish for you to find a place of joy and happiness, and a place that your huge, ginormous heart will be honored. I wish that for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Charles is asking, have you had a glimpse of the other side? Yes, I have, Charles, and I would like to go back, and I'm not allowed. But I will tell you that because of my Candace, new moon eclipse, 4 planets in alignment, Pluto in retrograde. Oh, okay, good. All right, so we knew that was all coming, by the way. And that's part of it. You know, I mean,
Pluto
that's
in retrograde. Yikes.
everything that's going on that's causing so much angst and anxiety too. But I will say that the thing that I consider the greatest blessing of my life is from the age of 13, and probably before that, but certainly from the age of 13, I had my first conscious contact with extraterrestrials, what I refer to as the galactic family, and had a stunning awakening, my own personal paradigm shift, and knowledge that we were not alone in the universe, because what I saw under no circumstances was manufactured on this planet, period. It just was not. And I knew that even at that tender age. I knew. And I didn't feel fear at all. I felt very much a sense of simpatico. I felt a sense of belonging. I felt a sense of incredible peace, and excitement and wonder and joy to see them. Just floating silently over my head. Like so slowly that had it been something manufactured on this planet, it would have just dropped to the earth.
Okay.
And so, and that was it. I mean, that did change everything for me. And aside from little Miss Peanut Buttercup, who might lick my nose to wake me up, she's a wicked bed hog. Method of grounding and protecting your energy.
We just talked about that.
My favorite preferred method of grounding and protecting my energy is Erin Bush. But I spend a lot of time off world in response to, I believe, Charles. I do. I spend a lot of my time out of this dimension. And I have to for my survival in this dimension. So, yes, I have numerous incidents of lost time. I have numerous experiences being elsewhere, not here. And I welcome them. I relish them. I love them. How do you get out of 3D? Jonathan, I'll call you. I know the way. All aboard the mothership, blue drinks around the house. I'm telling you right now. And I really don't care who believes me, doesn't believe me. It doesn't make a whit of difference to me. Oh, is it chilly up there in the frozen tundra?
Yes.
Is that what it is? It's chilly up there.
And I came prepared with a sweater for this. It got up to a whole 65 today.
Yeah.
There. Okay. Now
it went to 82 or 80. It's still 72 here. It's nice.
I think it's about 40 here now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I like that you don't care if somebody believes you. I mean,
I don't. No. It is. Who was it? Oh, who was it? Oh my God, I met her. I can't remember her name right now, but she wrote a great book years and years ago. She tried to get me to write for her company years and years ago. I wasn't ready. But she wrote a terrific book called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business.
I love that saying. I didn't know there was a book, though.
Yes, she's the one that came up with the saying.
Okay.
And I just, her name's escaping me. Somebody can Google that and then tell Bill or Lenny and put it up on the thing. Because it's a great book. I have it over here somewhere in my bajillions of books. My father says to me, "Do you need another bookcase, honey?" I'm like, yeah.
I know. I still have more. When Jack finished these, I'm like, all right, well, that's a start. He's just like, oh, yeah.
It is. It's a good start. It's a really good start. Yeah, mine, I won't even turn you can see a little bit of it, and it's wall to wall. So it's wall to wall, and it's just one, and there's still a boatload of them left up in in Georgia,
Yeah.
when I moved from Georgia to Florida, my sister and my mother are still in the old farmhouse there. And, well, it's not my fault that she had loads and loads of bookcases.
Right.
I took what I could. And I said, this is mine. Don't touch it. And don't ever pack it up and give it away, because each one of those is one of my kids. Yep. And they're just, right now they're in the orphanage, but they will be coming back to me. Yeah. So yes, I am, there's an escapist element of me. And I really feel like I only have one toe tethered to the planet, and I really want off of it. And I can't leave because Peanut. I can't leave because parents, sisters, friends, extended family, humanity, mission, job.
Yep.
And I know all of that.
You're not done yet.
I'm not. So I have to just suck it up, Buttercup, and buckle up, Buttercup. I mean, I have to. But I'm getting more and more and more disgruntled, and I have to force myself to be hopeful sometimes. I do. And I think that it's important for people to know. I don't want anybody putting me on a pedestal like I've got all the answers. I don't want it. It's inappropriate. Mm-hmm. We are all in this together. We are all finding our way through the woods in the dark, linking fingers and hoping for the best step by step. And that's what this experience has been for me. And in the best of times and in the worst of times, it's almost like it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. The emotional makeup is the same. Mm. And so I think perhaps one of the reasons why I've been an avid adopter of animals and a rescuer of animals, I've literally had hundreds and hundreds of animals in my life. And every single one of them was a rescue. Every single one of them.
Same here.
It's my job, and it's what keeps me tethered. Mm-hmm. And they keep me grounded. Maybe because they have 2 extra legs than we do, and I have to follow them around and watch what they do and make sure all is well. But it is what keeps me grounded. But my energy is ethereal. And mm-hmm. so it's really hard to stay grounded on a planet that you have such trepidation about the organic beings on it that are killing each other off with such regularity that the rest of the race becomes inured to it.
Right.
And I'm deeply disgruntled by the state of the world right now. And so I do what I can with, my show and bringing on brilliant, beautiful people like you to talk about these things, because
I think that's how we survive. I mean, those of us that can't just act on a world stage, these shows and these conversations, this is how we make a difference. Because it's a disturbing time.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And I'm part of, part of what I've struggled with is the knowledge that our galactic family cannot just swoop in and save us from ourselves. They can't. It's not part of the agreement. It's the whole chicken and the egg thing that I wrote about in my last book. The amount of strength that it takes for the baby chick to peck its way out of its enclosure, out of its shell, is the exact amount of energy that is required for it to build enough strength to survive outside the shell.
Yeah.
If you break the shell, the baby chicken dies.
Yep.
They have to do it themselves. And we're no different than they are. We have to find our way out of the dark and into the light. We have to. And that's one of the things that I want everybody to read your work. I want everybody to get your cards. I want everybody to just see what you do and tap in to your divine energy source. You're a wonderful writer. You're a wonderful artist. You have, did Bill show all of the stuff that you sent?
There it is.
The Changeling was the first book, right?
Yeah, this is fiction. So this is the first book in the Fairy Tale Chronicles series.
Okay.
Journey Stone is the second one in that series, and then those are the paperbacks, and those have my original artwork on the covers.
Great.
And Ghosties and Ghoulies and Divine Interference. One is a handbook for people that maybe are not sure if they're ready to have somebody come in and check out their house. Is something happening? Is it not? Just kind of a nice way to get a handle on what's going bump in the night. And then Divine Interference is a memoir. Mm-hmm. And those are rune cards. And those are the cards that I read when I give readings to people. Those are my Art and Soul Oracle cards. And
that's the set I have.
Yep, that's the set you have. And those are, you can use them for full readings. I use mine for what does the universe want me to know about today? Where do I need to put my energy today? Mm-hmm. And then that's artwork. That's the Court of Two Sisters in New Orleans. Yeah. And that's just a place in New Orleans. It's not really any place. That's my beloved birch trees here in northern Michigan. And that is Mackinac Island, another incredibly magical place up here.
It is.
It's an amazing place. And there's one of my voodoo dolls. That is actually Erzeli Freda, who is a spirit, a Loa of the voodoo religion. So that my voodoo dolls are not these stick a pin in them, and those are actually different dolls. My dolls represent the spiritual gods, goddesses, the spirits of Haitian voodoo, and they are sacred art. So when people say, can I stick a pin in it? I'm like, well, you could. I mean, that's very pretty fabric and you're probably going to ruin it, but if that's what you want to do with it. But I don't, that's not how you use them. They are similar to Catholic saints in that each one has a specific role and helps to connect you to the one source. Thank you.
Yes, I do too, Lynn. And Mandy Bauer is watching us while she's, I don't know, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning where she is. She's over in England. This woman stays up all night long to watch the show. It's amazing.
Wow.
Oh my God. Candace, you know Candace. Do you find regular runes are missing several key runes?
I don't understand the question.
I don't either. I don't. Maybe she'll clarify that and Bill will put it back up.
Okay.
No, I'll tell you one thing that I've picked up on spending so much time in Michigan. I fell madly in love with Petoskey stones.
Oh, those, yes. I love Petoskey stones. I don't know if you can see back there. There's 3 huge containers, and there's some over here and some over here.
Oh, so you could spare one for me then.
I will send you. I will send you many. My restaurant is on Lake Michigan. And so every morning I walk the beach and I collect the stones that we have here in Michigan. And my husband had told me that my piles were getting a little out of hand.
Tell him not to worry about that.
But that's it. I was doing my thrifting and I found these massive glass blown containers. I'm like, oh, look. And now there's room for more. I will send you Petoskey stones. They are the most amazing things. And locals love them too. When people say, well, you know, you're local, you don't like them. We love our Petoskey stones. They're incredible.
There's nothing like them anywhere else on earth.
Nope. And
they don't exist anywhere else on earth.
Nope, they are amazing. I will send you a bunch of them. I got bunches. I will send you.
I'll pay the postage because it's going to cost the earth.
We talk about astrological signs. I am a double Taurus, so I'm like super grounded. My Sagittarius rising is the only thing that keeps me from like not becoming one with the sofa. But that means I also have all of these collections. Like I cannot walk without picking up a stick or a feather or a stone.
Yeah.
And I've taught all those to my grandkids, and now they've got buckets of stones and feathers. It's just, I love the Petoskey stones. I'm glad you discovered them when you were up here. Northern Michigan, I think, where you come for the most part, is just the most stunningly gorgeous place.
It is.
Especially in the summers up here.
Amazing. I've been all over the state, the whole state. Okay, so Candace is saying that there was, can you put that up? I get missing runes when Catholics passed through the Nordic countries. Huh.
Interesting. I guess I'm just not at all familiar. There's so much to learn about the Norse people and the runes. I know like that much. The cards I read, the runes are amazing, and I love the energy of them, but they're a focal point that allow me to channel mostly the people who come to me for readings. I'm channeling their spirits and their guides. And then the runes are offering more insight, but I don't know. I don't know anything about missing runes. That's fascinating.
Well, the next time we're all together and we've got Candace, we're going to jerk her over to our area and
yes, absolutely. I want to know more about that. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, she's really into the research on that. And so, she's a walking encyclopedia sometimes, that one.
I am not a rune master in any way, shape, or form. I was gifted these cards almost 30 years ago, and they just resonated with me and the spirits that came through. But as far as the history and the depth of learning with the Nordic runes, I'm not there. So I look forward to learning more about that.
Well, I think that this is a really important time for spirit to emerge.
Absolutely.
Have you had the same experience that I have of a lot of people saying they've had experiences that they've never had before in these last couple of years?
Yep.
And seen things that they've never seen before in these last couple of years?
Dreams and visions and hearing things. And I've had lots of people. We would do Zoom calls during COVID, but they would not so much want they wanted readings, but mostly they wanted someone to tell them that they weren't crazy.
Yeah.
People that would never have considered themselves psychic were suddenly getting visions and having dreams that were prophetic. One lady said she was doing something like she was cleaning her bathroom, and suddenly there was a man talking to her, and she's just absolutely terrified. And that would be scary if these things hadn't happened to you. But I think spirit is coming through so much now because there's so much we need to do. There's so much that needs to be done. And when we were all kind of stuck at home during COVID, what a more perfect time for spirit to go, oh, you're bored? Let me talk to you. So, yes, I've had a lot of people. You have as well?
Yes, a lot of people. And what I try to explain when somebody reaches out to me and says, I've always been a believer, but I haven't been an experiencer. And this has happened and it really shook me. And I remind them that they've been attracted to this field of study for a reason.
Yep.
I remind them that this is the right and proper time for that connection to take place. Absolutely. I'm not one that says the veil is thinning because I don't believe in the veil. I don't think that there is a veil per se between this realm and the next realm. I think that's a self-imposed boundary that we place there that we've a machination of our own to keep us
absolutely
in our well-structured, 3D 5 sensory realm, but it's not the truth of our existence. No. And so when
artistically, I love the idea of that. Like I can envision that veil, but no, it's simply it's just a description that fits our experience.
Yeah, it does. And it makes us feel safe and secure in in what is otherwise a very complicated world anyway. Why complicate it more?
Right.
But the fact is that we coexist with spirit.
Oh, absolutely.
And we coexist with sentient, prescient beings who are circumnavigating this globe, and who are here for a reason and with purpose, and who love us. I'm quite certain of that. I'm as certain of that as that I am that I was born and my name is Andrea Perrin. I know that we are loved by them. And I want them to, I just want them to do something. I want them to,
It'd be nice to have some saviors about now, wouldn't it?
Can't they take one of their Italian lasers and just find where Putin is? And, really, I certainly Italians have something to do with it. I'm making fun of the conspiracy theorists now. Oh, there's Brady. Oh, Brady, I love this young man. He's such a sweet, sweet soul. I'm Mandy. Thank you. How is it over there in the UK? I'm coming, I'm coming. I'll talk to you. Well, I really want to meet her. I have to go over to Scotland in July and
dream.
Yeah.
I want to go for my 55th birthday. So got a few years to plan it.
Yeah. Okay. So
have you been there?
Now I really feel very old. No, I've never been out of the country before except to Canada.
Same.
So I'm just waiting for my passport to show up at the door any day. And I hope that they give me one because I'm pretty sure there's an FBI file on me. I'm pretty sure there is. I
would take that as the height of a compliment. If I was that interesting that anybody wanted to keep a file on me, that'd be thrilling. Unless it kept me from going where I wanted to go.
Exactly. Unless it kept me going from where I need to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not even a little bit looking forward to that plane flight. Not even a little bit. I'm sure I will have ingested half a pack of cigarettes by the time I land in Edinburgh. I mean, I know it. I'll just be, ripping them apart and sticking them up under, patches. I know that's a lot more civilized, isn't it? Isn't it? They better work, damn it. They better work. Or somebody needs to shoot me with a tranquilizer.
Well, and you could drug yourself too. So patches, gum, and sleep aids.
Okay.
You could make it. How long a flight is it?
Too long. It's longer than it takes to get to LA from here. It's like 7 hours. I'm going to, oh my God. But thankfully, I travel with my own personal security detail outside the window of the plane. So as long as I've got, you have to worry when you have Interpol file, Andrea.
Oh, that's funny.
No, go ahead. Laugh it up, Candace. Laugh it up, fuzzball.
That's funny.
I mean, I was really intimidated on a flight one time, really bad. I mean, I handled it okay, I guess, but I had this woman sit down next to, I wrote about it in my last book, sit down next to me and, you know me, I'm like, hi, how are you? And I did not understand why. She was the last person on the plane. They had to reopen the door for her to come on. I had just been escorted through back hallways without even a boarding pass having been issued to me. My luggage was taken when I got to the San Antonio airport, and all I was doing was flying to Colorado to do an episode of Open Minds for Gaia with Regina Meredith.
That would be
I was minding my own business. I was being a good girl, and this woman sat down right next to me. And the two seats beside me, I had the window seat, they were open.
Oh.
And there were 65 other seats available on that plane that day. It was not by any stretch of the imagination a full flight. And so I thought it was very odd that she sat practically on top of me.
Yeah.
And
I don't do well with that. I have
no, I know. Give me space, you know. I mean, outer space is even preferable. And you know, so I said hello, and she was very stern and chagrined. And I said, my name is, and she said, oh, I know who you are. Just like that. I know who you are.
That's a little threatening, huh?
Yeah. And I had my book in my lap. I was rearranging my crap, you know, to get everything up under the seat. And so I figured she saw my picture on the book and my name was on the book. And maybe, you know, I don't know.
Right.
I never assumed that, you know, I mattered enough to be followed or trailed or intimidated by anybody. And so I was going to Gaia to talk about extraterrestrials, about the galactic family on that particular episode of Open Minds. And so I said, oh, well, I'm a writer. I said, what do you do? And she just turned and she looked at me with this iron cold stare. And she said, I work for the federal government.
Oh, goodness.
And then she put ear pods in and tuned me out.
Still sitting right
next 2.5 right on top of me.
Uh.
Yeah. And then when the plane landed, she was up out of her seat in a split second where nobody else had even unbuckled anything yet or anything.
Wow.
The plane was still moving. She went right up to the front. When they opened the door, she was off.
That's very odd.
Yeah. And so, you know, I got issues. I feel like I've probably pissed off a few people, or I pose. Do I look like I pose any kind of a threat at all to anyone, really?
Nope.
Yeah. So there. So next year, if you want to go to Scotland, I know people.
Oh, right.
We'll get you in on that trip.
Well, if we go on my deadline, I've got 3 years to finagle my way there. So
okay, excellent. That's excellent. So yeah, I feel like this is a really important time for us. You know, those of us that not nonchalantly but matter of factly talk about spirit because of our own experiences. Absolutely. And because we believe our own senses. Mm-hmm. We believe what we've experienced and the contact that we have had. And so we talk about it very openly and share very openly. And you are certainly true to that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this is a very important time for spirit to come more to the forefront, for more souls to be touched by spirit, because of the extraordinary losses that humanity has incurred.
Yep.
I think that it is the greatest gift to know that in some way, shape, or form, we don't die, but we transform. Our energy transforms, and that we go on, and that we're still around, and we're watchful and mindful of those left behind earthbound.
Yes.
So many people have grieved and lost. I mean, we've lost well over 1 million people just in this country to COVID. Mm-hmm. Well over 1 million. I don't care what the numbers say. They don't even put the numbers up anymore. No, why? Because everybody's lost interest.
Yeah.
You know, really?
Well, and I mean, you look at Michigan, you know, the people who tried to help us, they were the people in charge. Whether you agree with what our governor did or not, I do believe that she was trying her best. And, you know, she was threatened and her life was threatened and her daughter's lives were threatened. And so we didn't want the message anymore. We didn't want the messengers. So that we don't get the numbers anymore. And I don't know.
Well, we're still losing between 500 and 750 people a day to a virus that has not gone away.
Oh, it's never going to go away.
And it's never going to go away. And now that we have at-home testing and that testing's not being monitored in a singular database, we don't really know. And people are dying at home. And people are dying who are taken off to funeral homes and are never tested to see if that was COVID that killed them. We're never going to know how many people died from this coronavirus.
Nope.
We're never going to know. And I've got nothing left for anyone who ends up in the hospital on their deathbed screaming at their nurse to give them the shot when it's too late.
Right.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not going to care more about them than they care about themselves and their family and their community. And so I reserve my energy and focus my energy on other things, because worrying about individuals that won't take responsibility, won't bother to educate themselves about miracle vaccines. I mean, this was a miracle. The woman who developed the mRNA vaccine is about 5 feet tall. She has a little tiny clinic and laboratory out in San Diego.
Okay.
And she wanted her life's work. There's a brilliant book written about her called Code Breaker.
Okay.
And Walter Isaacson, our great historian from Tulane University in New Orleans, is the one who wrote the book because he was so impressed by this woman's story. And, nobody covered this. Nobody really, not much anyway, about this doctor and her life's work being to try to find a cure for the common cold, which claims lives every year needlessly. And she wanted to find a way to suffocate that virus. And instead, she found the mRNA factor that suffocates the nubs on the coronavirus.
Right.
The new virus.
And the book's called The Code Breaker?
The Code Breaker. It's brilliant. It's brilliantly written. It's a wonderful book. The information's out there. And the data is out there. And the science is out there.
Yep.
And yet I drove by a church right here in Winter Garden, Florida, several weeks ago, and it said, you don't have to rely on the scientists. God's got your back. Really? Okay, because if God created all things, didn't God create the scientists who came up with the vaccines?
Yep.
Oh God.
I have a hard time with the anti-science groups. I don't get it. And the mental gymnastics it takes to maintain that level of cognitive dissonance. I'm just too lazy for that. I can't, my brain doesn't do that. But, I guess to each their own.
Well, you know what? This virus isn't going away. Only 63% of Americans are fully vaccinated.
I know.
I'm one of them. So that I can go back out into the world and feel relatively safe.
Same. And I've got 2 grandkids, and only one is old enough to be vaccinated. So, we all, we're Will's, we're the 2-year-olds, we're his bubble. We've got to make sure we are all protecting him.
Right. Exactly.
But like you, I don't necessarily hold any malice, but I am I just don't have any energy left for the people that just refuse to actively refuse to acknowledge the science. Not the people that physically cannot get a vaccine. That's an entirely different thing. So don't come for me for that one. But the people that can and simply decide they're not going to because they believe some other weirdness. Nope. And I just don't. I don't have the energy or the time to expend on them. I just don't.
No, me either. All done. I'm all done caring about that.
Yep. And I mean, we're 2 years in, and if you haven't figured it out by now, there's nothing I could say.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Me either. I'm kind of all done.
yeah. Yeah.
I really am.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather, my mother is a sage, wise woman. And when I was a kid, she used to say, when we were growing up at the farm, and all kinds of crazy stuff was happening.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but with enough regularity that it was it was a part of life, and we had to adjust. And one day I remember I was standing in the kitchen, and it's the first time I ever heard her say this. And I had just opened the door to the pantry, the second pantry in the kitchen. And there was a woman standing there in a gray linen dress and long, thin, what seemed kind of dirty, oily hair. Okay. And she had her head down, and she was holding a broom. And I opened the door, and I saw her, and I closed the door, and I walked into the kitchen, and I said, "Mom, in the pantry. I've never seen her before." And my mom just leaned over and she kissed me on the cheek, and she said, "I'll take care of it." And then as she was walking up to the door, and of course, when she opened the door, she was gone. The apparition was gone. But she closed the door, and she just looked at me, and she said, "Sweetheart, fear the living, not the dead."
Absolutely. My kids have grown up hearing that. Growing up in a household with somebody who has abilities and is sensitive, and then both of my kids are very sensitive as well. That was something that, everyone had to learn to navigate. Like you said, things didn't happen every single day or every single minute, but certainly regularly enough that, one of the kids at some point would say, so there's this girl sitting on the steps. And I'm like, okie dokie, never seen a little girl before. And, that's just something that was part of our world as well. As the living are so much more scary and can do so many more awful things to us.
Yes.
Than the dead. The dead can be scary. I mean, there were some experiences that could be a little spooky, but much more afraid of crazy people out there than the ones in my house.
Christina Hayes from our YouTube feed wants to know if we think out-of-body experiences are possible.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Not only are they possible, they are.
Yeah.
And you can actually create the environment spiritually to have that. And the reason that I know that I have out-of-body experiences is not because I necessarily remember leaving my body in terms of my consciousness or my soul or my spirit or, whatever part of me leaves this body behind while I do my astral traveling. I always have an acute sensation of dropping back in. That's when it really gets my attention, and then boom, I'm awake. And I mean, like, I am awake, like, whoa, I just got dropped out of a helicopter. I mean, it just feels like, boom, back in. And interestingly, a couple of weeks ago, we had a situation here at the house that was amazing. My father is a very light sleeper. I have the west wing of the house for myself, and his room's way down the hallway on the eastern side of the house. So we're probably about maybe 50 or 60 feet apart. and with an adjoining hallway between us. And Peanut got really upset in the middle of the night and she heard something land on like hit the roof or something. There was a noise, an abrupt noise. And so she hops up out of bed and starts running like a madwoman through the house, going from door to door to window, checking the perimeter because she is the guard dog. And then she went running into my father's room, pushed the door open and jumped up on the bed. And I went terrassing in there after her because I didn't want her to scare him and wake him up. She was all over him and he was not moving. Oh. He was not moving at all.
Goodness.
And I can put a finger on him and wake him up instantly. And I mean, I had a moment of absolute panic. Absolute panic that my father had passed away in his sleep. And I went over onto the side of the bed and I put my hand on his rib cage and I felt and I took his pulse with my other fingers and he was fine, but he wasn't here. He was not here. And I was 30 seconds away from calling 911 until I realized that he was breathing deeply. His heart was working properly, but he was not here. And so Peanut could not wake him up. And I went and I sat out on the terrace for a long time. And I thought, and I kept checking on him. And I finally went back to bed. And when I got up a couple of hours later, he was standing in the foyer and just staring at me. And he said, I had the most phenomenal thing happen to me last night. He said, I left. I went to the farm and I was there at the farm and all the spirits came to me.
Oh my.
All of the spirits came and spoke with him and sat near him and introduced themselves.
Oh my goodness.
And told him that he was missed and that he was loved and that he was, and he's like, it was the most phenomenal thing that's ever happened to me in my whole entire life. He said,
that is amazing.
And he said the woman from the cellar, she came up the cellar stairs, the one that would touch him on his back when he'd go downstairs. And she came up the stairs and she had like a gunny sack over her head because her neck was broken. And and she said to him, I know, Brady, bless his heart. And she said to him, he said, take off your hood, and she said, no, I wouldn't want you to see me like this.
Oh,
I mean, just broke my heart.
But the fact that he was just so loved, that is just amazing.
I know it is. Okay. So Bill, Bill, first of all, time is an illusion. Okay. It's like absolutely irrelevant.
We will not recognize this 5-minute call, Bill.
What is this 5 minutes? Really? I love him so much. He's the one with the hook behind the curtain. Pulls me right off stage when he has to. But there he is. Okay.
I don't want to get in trouble, but yeah.
You wanna talk us down? He's so adorable. Okay, so we have 5 minutes. Let me give you that 5 minutes to say whatever you want to say, and then I'll close us out. And let people know how they can be in touch with you. You are magical. We need to be in touch with you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you so much. This was just delightful. This was like talking to you and all your friends. So it was just great. I would love for anybody who wanted to get in touch with me to do that. The website Bill put up is available. You can find me on Facebook. My artwork is also on Facebook. I think you can find me through the Buttercup Brigade.
Yes, you're a Buttercupper. Yes, you are.
I believe I am a Buttercupper. Yes. kind of tend to be out of commission in the summer because my restaurant opens and that's all I do in the summer. Yeah. But I'm almost always painting. I love to talk to people about spirit. I love to talk to people about the voodoo dolls and the sacred art. And if you're in New Orleans, I love to talk to people about my beautiful favorite city too.
Yes, so. It is. It's extraordinary. Well, I thank you with all my heart.
Oh, and you. Thank you. And Bill, thank you. It was nice to meet you.
You truly are precious to me. And I do feel joyful sharing you with people that have never had the opportunity to meet you yet. That's been wonderful. And so I try to always close the show out on an uplifting note. But tonight I want to say, be defiant in the face of evil. Yep. Be defiant in the face of evil and dare to hope for a bright future for the world.
Yep. And be defiant in your love.
That's right. Remember, love is your superpower. Use it. Yes. Use it. It's an action word. It's a verb.
It is.
Okay. I love you dearly. Hang in there after the show goes off. We'll still be on for another minute.
Okay.
Because I want to share something with you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I love you all. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you again next week.
Good night, everybody.
Bless you all. Many blessings.